I'm Mo. I'm glad you're here today. I like to hang out and talk about makeup. And today I want to talk about a foundation review. There's been so many foundations lately, right? It's been kind of like nuts. So let me say this. This is one of the most confusing foundations I've ever tested. We are talking about the Beauty Bakerie Instabake Aqua Glass Foundation. So I did this in a haul a week and a half or so ago. I got this through Ulta. I ordered it online. We're going to talk about all the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the whatever it is. And I had mentioned this in my haul, but I really think Beauty Bakerie does a fantastic job with packaging. So it comes in this pink box. But what's really clever is that it opens with a magnet closure. That's unusual packaging. And then there's your foundation. And, ooh, you can hardly see it, it's so bright. There's like a holographic, not truly holographic, I'd say spatula, whisk. I'm not sure which one it's supposed to be. And then they give you the details here. And then, you know, your nutrition information right there. So really clever packaging from Beauty Bakerie. They're very good at that in all cases, and this is no exception. So getting the actual foundation out, this is what the bottle itself looks like. It's not showing up quite true to color here. There is more of a, I'd say a peachy, slightly peachy undertone to it. This is in the shade 351N. I don't think you're gonna be able to read that very well. It's kind of printed over a bubble. 351N, this was the recommended shade. I think I did a shade finder on Ulta, but you know, also read the descriptions, and I believe this was a light with neutral undertone. So I'm somewhere in the fair to light category, and I generally go for a neutral undertone. It is 0.9 fluid ounces, which means it is just slightly, so a tenth of an ounce. Slightly less than the standard size for foundation. The price was $38 on Ulta. As I said, I got it at ulta.com. So the reason this intrigued me was because it's called Instabake Aqua Glass Foundation. So the glass skin trend has been going on for what, a couple of years. I believe it started in like Korea, and you know, it's just that beautiful glowing, like how can that be possible skin, which I don't have. Most of us don't have. So I thought, aqua glass, well, that's really different. I haven't heard that kind of claim on any foundation, so I thought I'd give it a try. So here we go, and I'm gonna actually put it on for you. I will tell you a few things about it. So let's see the color first. I kind of mentioned, and I don't know how true this is going to come off. That again looks a bit lighter than reality. I shouldn't say lighter, the undertone doesn't look quite as peachy as it does to my eye. So the camera's not quite picking that up. And you can kind of see it is thicker than I anticipated. I mean, it's not thick, like it doesn't move, but you can see how long it takes that to even kind of start to run down my hand. So I've tried this 5 or 6 times, and I definitely have a preferred method of application. I have a not preferred method of application. I've really gone round and round with this foundation, which is interesting. So let's just quickly talk about the claims according to Beauty Bakerie. This is inspired by the elegance and minimalistic approach to beauty that Japan is known for. That sounds very appealing to me. This lightweight, vegan foundation is a force to be reckoned with. Rightfully named Instabake, this full coverage formula effortlessly covers anything left in its wake. It's okay. Clearly they're saying full coverage, and then delivering extraordinary performance, it applies smoothly like a layer of frosting. That is their only description. And notice nowhere in there does it say anything about aqua glass, glass skin, nothing. We know it is a full coverage foundation. So I've tried this with several methods. I have really disliked it on some days, and I've really enjoyed it on some days. It's been kind of confusing, actually, but I found a method that I do like, and I thought we'd just do that here. So I've got my damp beauty blender. I've got that much on my hand, and I do have a mirror right here. So I'm just gonna apply that, you know, as you would any foundation. The sponge definitely soaks up quite a bit of the foundation. Not that that's surprising. That's pretty common when you use a sponge. So let's go with another. That was a full pump. So that one was, for real, a full pump. And I'm just going to keep going here. So not much left. This was the second pump. So we're going to say it's 2 pumps. And my preference for foundation is, I'd say medium coverage. Generally not full. So I'm really kind of bouncing that into the skin, as you can see. I think we've got it pretty well there. So there it is. Now, so that's essentially everything on my hand, right? So that first pump wasn't quite full, so I'm going to say 1 3/4 pumps to get this level of coverage with a beauty blender. It's not a full matte finish, and part of that is because I use a dampened beauty blender. So I do not have full coverage. I got a decent amount. I mean, considering I was using a sponge, I actually got pretty decent coverage with that, because a sponge will typically shear out a foundation, which I like. So there it is. I feel as if this foundation is so confusing. Like, one day I'll wear it and I'm like, I will never wear that again. And another day I wear it and I kind of like it. That's why it's been so confusing to me. So I will tell you this. So when I've put it on with a brush or my fingers, no way. It just comes off thick and cakey on me, and it just like shows every piece of peach fuzz on my face and just looks thick. And so that I could not go for at all. With a beauty blender or whatever sponge you use, mine's an actual beauty blender, it looks pretty nice. Now I will say I think my texture, look, hi, those are my pores. It's not blurring anything. It's not hiding anything like that. But the coverage is pretty good. The shade is off for me. So the shade is just slightly off, but I try not to judge based on that. So I'm looking in my mirror here, and I see, yeah, even with the beauty blender, I just keep like trying to smooth it out. Try to look nice. It looks dry on me. It looks dry here. It looks dry up here. So here's the thing. As I said, I've worn this 5 or 6 times, 7 now probably. And the first one I kind of liked. The second time, I didn't love it. The third time, I wanted it off my face because it was so thick and cakey. Another time, I think I wore it Friday, and I did a thin layer with Beauty Blender, and I'm like, wow, my makeup looked really pretty that day. It looked so good. So I decided to do the review, right? Every day it's different. I don't know what it is, and I'm not changing any variables. So I use the same moisturizer, which is just the Paula's Choice. This is their Calm moisturizer, and it's got SPF 30. It's from normal to dry. I'm pretty normal. And I used my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, which is my kind of consistent primer that I tend to use. I've used the same primer, same moisturizer. I don't know what the variable is. Is it the foundation itself? Like, can a foundation change? Because today I'm not loving it. 2 days ago I thought, okay, I do like it. I figured out a way that I like it. Today I don't like it again. It's just, it accentuates things I don't want accentuated, which is like the last thing I want. And as to the Aqua glass in the name, I don't know what that means. There's no sheen. There's nothing sheer about it. There's nothing glass-like about it. It's not a watery texture. I am truly befuddled by this foundation. That is the absolute truth. I really thought today I was going to be like, okay, I kind of like it. I've gotten to a point where I figured it out, right? You figure out the best way to do a foundation. I still haven't figured this foundation out. I don't think I'm ever going to. I'm probably going to take it off. So that's what it looks like. And it's not like horrible. It's not like unbearable. But I have worked so hard to try to get this foundation to work. And that's probably the thing that's most frustrating for me. What I want in a foundation is for it to look good, last, and just be relatively easy. I'm not saying I need to always be able to just slap it on with my fingers. I get it if it needs a brush, or maybe it needs a beauty blender. But this is done, like I said, like 6 tries, and I still haven't got this thing right, and I'm not willing to put in any more time on it. So for me, this is unfortunately a fail. My last review on the ABH Luminous foundation was a fail. This is a fail, which is really disappointing because, again, like I mentioned, I mean, these are not inexpensive. This was like $38. And, I've used it several times. I thought maybe I'd gotten to the point where I could make it work. It doesn't work. This is not a foundation for me and my normalish, maybe slightly dry leaning skin. So I'm sorry, I don't have anything more positive to say, but all I can do is be straightforward about it. And I was hopeful that I would like it more this time. I don't like it more. I'm kind of glad I did this live, actually, so you could see my own reaction to it. Foundation is so individual. It's almost like fragrance. There's so many variables with foundation. So am I saying, no way, this wouldn't work for you? No. Am I saying, no way, it doesn't work for me, I'm not putting in the time anymore? Absolutely. I am done with the Beauty Bakerie Instabake foundation. It's run its course, and I've tried it enough, and this is not for me. So that's what you got. That's my 2 cents on the Beauty Bakerie Instabake Aqua Glass, is it? Foundation. I'll talk to you soon.